I am Tiffany Span Wilder, but you may know me as Judge T. I am an attorney and former judge here in North Charleston. I'm running for South Carolina District House Seat 109 because we need an advocate at the State House who knows the district and knows the people in it. From crime, lack of opportunities for our youth, to the education and traffic nightmares. We need someone who hears us and will fight for us. As your next state representative, I am ready on day one. I would be honored to have your vote.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Now it's time to bring me on camera. I gotta fire my director. He brought me on. I'm excited to come on early, but not that early. Anyway, hey, how we doing, everybody? If you're watching me live, thank you. It is time for the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Chicago, 5:30 p.m. If you're in Los Angeles or up in the Bay Area or in Portland, Oregon, it is 3:30, actually about 3:33 right now. Please subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Copy and paste the link. Tag it, text it, copy and paste it. Create a viral moment here on YouTube, a YouTube short, on Snapchat, on TikTok, on Twitter, or now they call it X, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever. I am here for you 5 days a week, unless otherwise I tell you. So I want to shout out my guests last night. If you missed last night's episode, shame on you. Where were you? You can still watch it. You can binge watch all my back episodes. As a matter of fact, when this show is over, you can go back and check it out. The next R&B supergroup, Metal Rose, and Rose is spelled with a Z, R-O-Z-E. We had a great show last night, so I want to thank all the guys from Adonis and D, and of course, not just a friend, family member of the show, my man M.A. Marcus Allen. As a matter of fact, if you missed that video, don't worry. You're going to get to see it. It's called Black Boots. It's really a tribute to like some of the great R&B groups, like especially Jodeci, hence the Black Boots. KC and JoJo and Jodeci, they were known for wearing like their little black combat boot style or combat style boots. So it was a really good conversation. We had a lot of fun, a very heartfelt moment, talking about the inspiration, what inspired these three young men, these three brothers to get together. And there's a very touching personal story that's behind that. So if you're watching me live, feel free. If you got a question or a comment, hit your man up. You can hit me up live in my chat room. You can post a question. You got a comment or whatever. Feel free. If you want to come for me, hey, they say if you're feeling froggish, leap. But if you come for me and I don't send for you, I'm going to send you back where you came from and do it with a smile. Yes, sir. So what am I holding in my hand? I voted. You see that? Cameraman, get that. There you go. I voted. Because there were two elections. There was a local special election. It was one. And then it was a the Democratic presidential primary. And early voting for all of that began Monday that just passed us by. The date for the primary is February 3rd here in South Carolina. The very first primary for the Democratic Party, also later this month. The MAGA cult members are going to have their primary with Orange Jumpsuit Hitler versus Miss Nikki Nimrata. There's no racism. America's never been a racist country. Haley, I addressed that in a couple episodes. As a matter of fact, go back and watch my episodes from last week. So I addressed the hypocrisy. She knew she was lying because she contradicted herself in the same sentence. Oh, there's no racism. America's not racist. America's never been racist. Because I know what racism looked like. Because I experienced it and I've seen it. Huh? America's never been racist, but you know what racism looks like because you've seen it and you experienced it. Make that make sense. I digress. So, yes, I voted, and I encourage you to do so if for no other reason. For no other reason. And this is not going to be, well, actually, this is going to be the gist of my monologue. But for no other reason, I've given you the stats. I've had the conversations with, why should I vote for President Biden because he old, even though orange jumpsuit Hitler's, his ass is old, and in worse physical, mental, and emotional condition than President Biden. I digress. What you have to understand is that the man who I refer to as orange jumpsuit, jackass Hitler, aka Donald Trump, is like an avatar or just like a symbol. What you have to understand is there's a MAGA cult movement around him that's basically fighting the Civil War still. People, the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of the people who wrote the Jim Crow laws which legalized segregation. It was legalized racism. It was racism codified in law. Where blacks in the South, our ancestors had no rights. Where people could just lynch them without any form of accountability, with impunity, just because we wanted to. Let's do it on a Sunday after church. Let's go ahead and get a little basket and take the kids out there, put on our Sunday best. Let's have something called a picnic. Picnic. Yeah, you know that word? Google, you know what picnic is, right? You have a picnic basket, you get a basket and you have food and you sit outside. But do you understand where that word, the origin of the word was from pick and N-word? Literally, you don't have to take my word for it. You can Google this for yourself or Yahoo search or whatever your search engine is. These people 100 years ago would literally leave church with their church suits and dresses, and the little kids that have on their little Sunday schools and Sunday best suits and dresses and little shoes with the socks and ribbons in their hair, and would put food in a basket, pre-cooked food in a basket, and would go and sit with a blanket and watch when the town would lynch a black person. And they called it pick N-word to hang today. So those people, their grandchildren, in some cases great-grandchildren, are now in offices. They're sitting on school boards. Hello, Moms for Liberty, that's banning books, that's preoccupied with people's, ethnic origin and sexual orientation. Daughters of the Confederacy, back in the day now, is Moms for Liberty. The same ideology that sees black people and people of color as inferior, as less than, in some cases subhuman. You are beneath me, and just somehow you all got lucky. And, Lyndon B. Johnson was a traitor to the white race because he's the one that signed the bill, the Civil Rights Bill and the Voting Rights Bill that gave you Negroes the opportunity to vote and said that we couldn't discriminate against you. So folks are trying to roll that back. The new Jim Crow 2025, as a matter of fact, there's something called Project 2025. Search it. Do your search engine. Type in Project 2025. You can download it. They got it in a booklet form. You can download it in a PDF. They have a specific plan. Federal, state, local governments. Oh, we're going to have a federal ban on abortion? Oh, but we're going to ban birth control pills. And in some states like South Carolina, you have politicians that say, oh, we want to pass a law to where if a woman terminates a pregnancy for whatever reason, she could get the death penalty. And the doctor that performed the abortion, we want to give them the death penalty too. And it doesn't matter if it's a 10 or 11-year-old that got raped. Rape or incest, too bad. But you can't kill the baby. Now, once the baby gets here, you don't want to provide money for prenatal care. You don't want to provide money so that black women's maternal mortality rate is 3 times higher than it is for white women. You don't want to have universal pre-K. You don't want to have money for that. You don't want families that are struggling on the edge to get a child tax credit where the family could get $300 a month per child. That literally took half, 50% of all the black children who were in poverty in the United States, took them out of poverty. And you damn sure don't want to provide schools the same quality and the same resources and the same quality teachers, especially culturally competent teachers, and pay them a really good wage. You don't want to do that. You don't even want them to learn how to read, which is another reason why you're banning books, because you know there's research that shows if a child can't read by the 3rd grade, by the 8th grade, there's data that shows there's a very good chance, high probability, likely probability that that child will wind up in the prison system, even as a juvenile. And you've got all these corporate prisons and people that have invested in these corporate prisons, and you've got entire small towns to where the prison is the biggest employer. Not to mention all the judges and the lawyers and the paralegals and stenographers. Think of all the people that depend on the legal system. It's like a beast. It's like an animal. You got to feed it. So where are we going to find these people? Let's not educate these black kids. You know what? Let's ban all kind of abortions. So even women who don't want to have a child, or maybe they've been raped, are forced to have these children. But let's ban books, and let's not provide money for prenatal care. Let's not provide money to make sure that these black mothers have the resources and the doctors and can go get visits to make sure that their pregnancy is going to be healthy. And then let's not provide money to help these families, working families. Let's get rid of that child tax credit. Then the kid will wind up maybe resorting to a life of crime, and we're going to ban books. You know, we'll start even in the 3rd grade. You know, we'll suspend them because, you know, black kids are suspended, I think, at least 3 times, at 3 times the rate of white kids. Not because they're 3 times more likely to do things to get suspended. That's just because that's how racist the education system is. Racism is it is a virus that is in every walk of life. It is in every profession. It is in my profession. It is in the media. It is in medicine. It is in law. It is in politics. And it has been that way. And the only thing that kind of just took the edge off of it is when we had the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act and the Fair Housing Act. And why do you think that you have politicians, MAGA cult members, that refuse to renew the Voting Rights Act, who want to get rid of the Civil Rights Act? Because they want people to be able to discriminate against you. You don't want to serve an N-word, or a person that's gay or lesbian or trans or Muslim. You know, the dude that, as soon as he got in, had a Muslim ban. You going to ban people based on their religion? Really? Is that what we're doing? And you're talking about, well, the founding fathers were Christians. They were not. They were not religious. They were not openly and overtly, outwardly religious men. You won't find it anywhere. You can Google search any of their papers and diaries. Just look at the Constitution. As a matter of fact, they got away from Europe and England because they didn't want to be oppressed and be told that they had to practice just one particular kind of religion. That's why they left Europe and came over here and colonized and committed genocide on Native Americans, and then stole millions of Africans from West Africa. Come on, y'all. Fought a war, the Civil War, It's like, okay, damn, we lost the war, but we're not going to give up. Do you know after the Civil War, some of the same people who fought against the United States, who engaged in treason, that the United States government gave they as reparations because they didn't own their slaves anymore. So they were faced with economic hardship. They couldn't get no money because their money was generated by our enslaved ancestors. And the U.S. government actually gave some of these people money. They got reparations. They got reparations. And then their grandchildren and great-grandchildren are bitching and moaning, talking about, oh, black folks just want a handout, reparations. Your great-grandparents got a handout, damn it. After they committed an act of treason, fighting against their own country. Man, miss me with the nonsense. So much for the history lesson. But when you don't learn history can and will, in many cases, repeat itself. And history is trying to repeat itself now. 1920s, 1930s is trying to make a comeback. An orange jumpsuit jackass Hitler, he's just like the face. He's the spokesmodel for this whole MAGA movement, which is rooted in racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, anti-Muslim hate, homophobia, transphobia, hate, anti-immigrant, misogyny, and sexism. Because these same folks that hate black folks and hate Jews, they hate women. Unless the women, we want you to stay in your place. You need to stop having these abortions and having babies. So we're going to have more kids. So these companies can have a larger pool of potential workers that they can try to pay little or no money so they can continue to make themselves rich. Come on, man. This is the oldest cycle that's been going on for over a century. So, listen, you know what this means? This means that you are going to engage in making sure that you do everything you can to reduce the harm and the damage. Not just you, but your kids and your grandkids. Because there are people who, listen, they have the new Jim Crow laws in writing. And I ain't making this up. I wish I was. You can go look at them. Once again, just Google Project 2025. So this vote, this ain't about, well, Joe Biden ain't done this and then he giving Israel money. Joe Biden isn't giving Israel money. The Israeli government. That is not a President Joe Biden policy. That is U.S. policy and has been since 1948 because we are partly responsible for creating the modern state of Israel. And the trip is that the majority of people in Israel can't stand the white nationalists that they have as a prime minister. But the people are traumatized after the horrible terroristic attack that they had to deal with collectively. But two wrongs don't make a right. You had over 1,200, 1,200 innocent Israeli women, children, and men, women, and children. But now, this white nationalist that they have, Bibi Netanyahu, and the even more racist white nationalist that's in his cabinet, this openly calling for a complete destroy Gaza. The Palestinians cannot come back on this land. And now Bibi Netanyahu is like, no, there will never be a two-state solution. Yo, dude, you don't want to have that debate. Really? History? We're going to talk about religion? Because you got two religions, they both feel they got claim to the same land. But when that particular piece of land was designated for European Jews who escaped the Holocaust. It was Great Britain and France and the United States that sat around in the UN and decided, okay, we got to create a homeland for the Jews that have survived World War II. Because their homeland almost wound up on the continent of Africa. Oh yeah. If you look at a map right now and you look at the state of Israel and the boundaries surrounding it, well, on that same map, look for the country of Uganda on the continent of Africa, because Uganda damn near became Israel. That was the conversation. We're going to choose here. We can do, because we got some folks that's already colonized Uganda, Great Britain, who also basically were stewards of the land and kind of colonized Palestine. Look, I'm not a history teacher. I'm just telling you that the same people who had that sense of hatred, racism, misogyny, sexism, and a need to rule and domain and oppress people, their grandchildren and great-grandchildren are sitting on school boards, are sitting in your state houses, and your state representatives are sitting in the U.S. House of Representatives. Hello, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Senators. We got 2 senators here in South Carolina in the U.S. Senate. Straight MAGA, and one of them made a damn fool of himself, which is sad. Because I know people who know him very well, who said that, at his core, he was a decent guy. But my God, are you so desperate to be around perceived power? Or you hope to be around someone who might be in power again, that you would just throw out your own human dignity? Not to mention just kind of sell out your people, your entire race, to benefit you and people close to you. Come on, man. So listen, to my young brothers and sisters especially, but the ones not so young, you got to understand, man, 2024, it's about self-preservation. It's about voting for somebody in a party that does not want to oppress you, that wants to make sure that you have rights, that as a woman, you have a right to decide whether or not you want to have a child, because that's your body. And no man knows anything about childbirth. He don't know nothing about labor pains. He doesn't have a concept of what it's like to have a C-section or a breech baby that's going up instead of down, that could travel to your heart and kill you and the baby. All the different complications from pregnancy. But these men want to tell you what you can and can't do with your body. But if you tried to tell them that they couldn't get Viagra, they would lose their damn mind. Because a man wouldn't allow any woman, it wouldn't even let another man. I don't care if God, Jesus, Muhammad, Abraham, you name whatever your God is, he or she, could all come down here in the flesh and to tell men, well, I don't think that you should have sex, but, because if you can get somebody pregnant, you shouldn't be able to have sex. They'd be like, you are out of your mind. They would tell God, Jesus, Allah, Abraham, Muhammad, all of them. Men would not tolerate nobody telling them what they could do with their body. So the ultimate hypocrisy and misogyny and sexism, this whole pro-life movement is political. It's not moral. These people that's telling you, it's moral and killing a baby, they don't give a damn about killing. The same people that say that, that you can't kill a baby, but they'll put somebody on death row and execute them in the same sentence. So if you're pro-life, in the womb, you got to be pro-life. If you were so pro-life, you would pass an assault weapons ban. So innocent babies wouldn't be slaughtered in schools. So miss me with that. I miss the pro-life. It's bullshit. It's not rooted in morality. It's not. It's rooted in political power because they knew they could use that with Christians, especially white evangelical Christians, to get them to turn out to vote in large numbers. And guess what? It worked. And guess what? The most immoral person on the planet, orange jumpsuit Hitler's like, well, I'm the one, I'm the one that ended abortion because I put 3 Supreme Court justices on the court, and then they made sure that they reversed the decision, Roe versus Wade, that allowed women to terminate a pregnancy, and now it's up to the states to determine if they want to ban abortions. Hello, South Carolina, where I'm standing right now in Charleston, South Carolina, a 6-week abortion ban. All throughout all the southern states. As a matter of fact, look on a map. Go back to a map of the Civil War and look at the southern states, and then look at a map of the southern states today in 2024, and just find out all the southern states that have abortion bans. Every state that was a part of the Confederacy that engaged in an act of treason, yes, that engaged in an act of treason, that fought against their own government, those are the same states that are banning abortion and are banning books, specifically books by black authors. Come on, y'all. Okay? It ain't about liking nobody. It ain't about, somebody want to sit down and have a beer with somebody or smoke a joint. As a matter of fact, those of y'all that was smoking joints and you got like a felony because you got busted, you had a joint on you, or maybe you had a nickel bag back in the day, or a dime bag, or half a bag, or 2 or 3 joints, and you had a simple marijuana possession felony charge. Oh, guess what? Did you know? You don't have those anymore. Why? Because of all people, the old man, Joe Biden, pardoned, exonerated. If you had a felony, simple marijuana possession charge, all those that had those felonies are wiped away because of that old dude that y'all talk about. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Big shout out to Latasha Brown, Cliff Averill, Black Voters Matter. They have rolled in town like the cavalry, five buses strong. They got a lot of events here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Hope if I'm lucky, I'll get Latasha Brown on the show. She's been on the show. She's a friend of the show. She is just an amazing woman, just brilliant, beautiful. The sister can sing, multi-talented, and Brother Cliff Averill is just brilliant. This is just a brilliant dude, and just his energy, he's chilled and strategic. I got so much respect for what he and Latasha have done with Black Voters Matter. So if you get a chance, just Google Black Voters, or go to blackvotersmatter.com. Go to their website, and they're having events all around the Charleston, South Carolina area all weekend long, as a matter of fact. So check them out, support them. It's about self-preservation. It's about reducing the harm that the grandsons and granddaughters and great-grandsons and great-granddaughters of those who were in the Ku Klux Klan, who fought for the Confederacy, who fought to continue to keep our ancestors in slavery. They really want to do that with us. Legally, they want to run it back. And they've already got the new Jim Crow laws, like Jim Crow 2.0 or 2025. They already wrote it down. And they're not even trying to hide it. They want you to see it. They want you to know this is what we're going to do to y'all. And it's called Project 2025. Check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. See it for yourself. All right. So shout out to Latasha Brown and Cliff Averill. Thank you for watching, everybody. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Shout out to everybody watching me live. My number one fan, hello, mother, how are you? And everybody else, feel free to join the conversation when I'm on camera live. I always have my chat room open, so there's always great conversation going on between those in the chat room and those between me and everybody that's watching and having a conversation in the chat room. Subscribe, share, screen grab, copy and paste the link, text it, tag it, email it, you name it. So subscribe, share, screen grab, tell everybody you know, like, and binge watch. Binge watch all my back episodes. I come to you live. Normal days and times, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's Friday, the weekend. So there will be a show, no doubt, but I am still putting the show together. As a matter of fact, my number one co-host, I expect to have her on, but I'm also working to see if I can get Miss Latasha Brown with Black Voters Matter. Hopefully I can. It would be great if I can get her and Cliff on too, because I know they both are busy. So if I can only get one, but if I can get two, it'll be great. And then have Keela on with me, so it'll be one heck of a show. All right, shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts. It is a barbering palace, not a barbershop. It's a barbering palace here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up, because Kel really be cutting his ass up. KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones. She is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. I like to call her the Drip Director. Check her and her collection, her LX.N, like Nanette, C, like Charlie, L, like Lexi. That's LX.N, like Nanette, C, like Charlie, L. See that? Like Lexi. Underscore. So LX.NCL underscore on Instagram. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave you with a brand new video. The next R&B supergroup, they were my guest on yesterday. So if you missed that episode, shame on you, but I got good news for you. You can go check it out after you watch this show. Make sure you binge watch yesterday's show. Make sure you binge watch Tuesday's show. Really make sure you binge watch Monday's show, and just make sure you binge watch all my back episodes and tell everybody, or as my man Nelly would say, tell everybody. Subscribe, share, screen grab. I am now qualifying to be a YouTube partner. I have over 500 subscribers. So my next goal now is 5,000 total subscribers. So help a brother out, everybody. Thank you so much. I leave you with a brand new song, brand new video from a brand new R&B group. Your next super group, like I said, Metal Rose. And Rose is spelled with a Z, R-O-Z-E, Black Boots. I love you, everybody. We'll see you. I'll see you on Friday, live, 6:30.
Metal Rose. Come here.
Tiffany Span Wilder, but you may know me as Judge T. I am an attorney and former judge here in North Charleston. I'm running for South Carolina District House Seat 109 because we need an advocate at the State House who knows the district and knows the people in it. From crime, lack of opportunities for our youth, to the education and traffic nightmares. We need someone who hears us and will fight for us. As your next state representative, I am ready on day one. I would be honored to have your vote.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.